Today was a special day, celebration of the first complete Mohawk Bible. It's incredible. There's no secret what God can do if you doing something for Him.
When I think about the pieces of work that the United Church of Canada has done, I think a lot about our relationship with Indigenous people. As a person of Mohawk descent, one of the biggest losses that came out of the residential school was the loss of culture, and along with that, the loss of language.
I feel this is a large step in terms of following that path of reconciliation for the church, understanding the importance of language to each of our nations. Being Ojibwe, the entire Bible into Mohawk is outrageously significant, because I believe, if anything, it's going to be more inspiration for my nation to do something similar.
Mohawk is now the fourth Indigenous language in Canada to have the whole Bible. Gwich'in, Inuktitut, Cree, and now Mohawk. 66 books, world literature, now available in Mohawk. That's a tremendous amount of literature, a tremendous amount of new words for students to learn, and a way to preserve and promote and propagate the language to the next generations.
I think what's significant is that it took us 7 generations to get to this moment, and it's going to be a blessing for the next 7 generations. Now our churches can actually revitalize the language and use it from the pulpit, and so then the congregation can learn their language, the children can learn their language, and the elders are blessed by being part of that circle.
Our elders have been talking about the parallel path, our Indigenous spirituality and where our nations are on one side, and then of course the story of Christ, our Christian belief. On the traditional side, we believe that our Mohawk language was given to us from the Creator. And so to have these two worlds come together in a very meaningful way is very important to the United Church in terms of what it means for our future.
There are so many families like mine who have lost their language. This action of helping bring the Mohawk Bible to birth helps to even the scales a little, only a little, but it's a place where I see the United Church, well, putting their money where their mouth is. We make apologies. This work will help us actually live into those apologies.
This is a historic event, and Harvey Satewas Gabriel is responsible largely. After the service, we're going to meet out on the front steps, and those who want to are going to walk with us up Park Avenue and up the mountain to the Mount Royal Cemetery, to the grave site of the Reverend Chief Sose Onasakanrat, Harvey Satewas Gabriel's great-grandfather, and a man who translated 4 of those 66 books. There's a deep connection with St. James as well. When he died, his funeral was from St. James. And following his funeral, there was a huge cortege. Hundreds, if not thousands of people who followed the coffin up the hill to the new Mount Royal Cemetery, where he's buried.
Satewas, I am very proud to invite you to step into the very pulpit that your great-grandfather preached from.
Quite an honor for me to stand where my great-grandfather stood. This church has helped my community so much in the 1800s to fight the enemy that is stealing our land. The land is still stolen.
This is a day where we can actually recognize some initial steps of reconciliation. It's nice to be able to contribute as a regional council and as a church to being able to build that bridge to a place where healthy relationship is possible. Le Conseil régional et l'Église dans son ensemble est capable de surmonter son histoire un peu, d'avoir opprimé les gens et d'avoir dit, écoute, on veut pas que tu parles ta langue. Là maintenant, on est en train de ressourcer une communauté pour bâtir sa connaissance de sa langue et de sa foi. Et pour ça, c'est extraordinaire comme moment.
This is a first step. There are lots more steps to take and lots more Indigenous communities that are working to regain their language.
So I have to thank your foundation and the members of the United Church across Canada. I listened to Billy Graham a lot when I was younger. One time I heard him preaching, when God gives you something to do, if you don't know how to do it, start it anyway, He'll take over. And I told that to Susan last night after supper, sitting in our living room. She said, don't forget that.